Today, we are not just talking theory. We are joining the real-life journey of Harish, an SAP on Azure Architect at Tomato Inc., a company with a quirky name but a very real enterprise challenge. Harish is faced with a gigantic task, moving his company's complex SAP landscape filled with ERP, BI, and global trade from old on-premises into cloud. He will have to weigh strategies, navigate technical limitations, and make the kind of decisions that can make or break a business's digital future. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's follow as Harish charts his path from a legacy system to cloud-powered clarity. Welcome to AZ-120 SAP Workloads on Azure series, and in this series we are understanding migrating SAP workloads to Azure. If you're new here, my name is Rajdeep. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and a solution architect, helping clients build amazing solutions every day, and we are on a mission to make learning fun as well as crack certifications in that process. If you have watched my previous video, you now would understand the high-level steps involved in an SAP on Azure migration. If not, I would highly recommend you go ahead and watch that first. I've given the link in the description, and you can also find a card on the top of this video. In this video, we drill down deep and understand the strategies for migration of SAP on Azure. For example, migration of SAP S/4HANA from SAP Business Suite. We understand DMO in a bit more detail. Analyze the SAP database migration methodology. What is one-step migration DMO? What is DMO migration with system move? And what is two-step migration and downtime-optimized DMO? Join Harish as he chooses his path, faces critical decisions, and takes those first bold steps towards modernizing with SAP on Azure. Chapter 1: A Strategist's Dilemma. Harish faces an classic enterprise puzzle: how to migrate a sprawling SAP landscape to Azure. Now, Tomato Inc.'s SAP world is a mix of old and new ERP, global trade, BI, and other systems. Each has its own sandbox, development, test, and production systems. Most systems live on-premises with a tiny footprint on Azure. One night, staring at his migration plan, Harish crafts a clever graph. The columns are SAP systems, the rows are environments. From non-critical sandbox at the bottom to ultra-critical production at the top. He sees two paths. Chapter 2: The Horizontal versus Vertical Path. Now, before we go ahead with the story, I have set a small but a mighty goal: 500 subscribers. Now, here's the truth: I cannot do it without you. Every video takes hours of research, late night coffee, and an occasional "why did I start this" moment. If you learned something new, smiled, or just enjoyed the tech talk, hitting subscribe is the best way to say, hey, keep going, we have got your back. Think of it like a virtual high five, except it actually helps the channel grow. Okay, coming back to Harish. Now, Harish thinks if I start from the bottom, I can move less critical environments first, like sandbox, then development, and then going to production. I get to experiment, fine-tune operations, adjust our processes, and build team confidence in Azure. Plus, I can analyze cost, performance, and tweak as we go. Or I could pick a less risky standalone system, an old BI workload, and then move from sandbox right up to production. I can test customer experience, cost impact SLA, and compliance step by step. This would be less disruptive, especially for tightened integrated systems like ERP. Smart Harish realizes there is no single right answer. The best path depends on landscape's complexity and business goals. Why not run both strategies in parallel, a hybrid approach? That way, we'd get best of both worlds. Chapter 3: Migration Methods. Harish compares the migration methods: classical SWPM, file-based export-import, upgrade and migration, two separate steps, but it will consist of more downtime. He considers SAP DMO, database migration option, upgrade plus migration in one step. He will use shadow copy for repository, and he is always able to fall back if there is a problem. Harish thinks DMO is the future. Before making any moves, Harish consults with his team, researches options, and lays down migration pathways. Classical migration (SWPM) would involve export-import databases, more downtime, and 2 steps. While DMO, on the other hand, the database migration option, can upgrade and migrate in 1 step with a fallback safety and minimal downtime. On the other hand, the horizontal versus vertical strategy, you move less critical environments like sandbox and dev first and gain experience in Azure layer by layer. In vertical strategy, you move standalone low risk environments like small BI workloads first for focused testing and minimizing disruption. Now let's discuss what are the phases which Harish needs to prepare for. The first phase is preparation. He needs to perform cleanup, readiness checks, confirm critical passwords. Next step is extraction, where he needs to do some checks on the source and target software and unpack all the SAR files. The next check is configuration, source and target system connectivity tests, and perform checks verifying enough disk space for shadow repositories. He needs to do pre-processing to create shadow repo and new HANA structured tables. He needs to perform execution, downtime, user locked, data migrated, and SAP kernel is switched. He needs to do post-processing tasks like activate HANA content, cleanup, and finalize migration. If there is a problem, fall back because source DB remains untouched until cutover. Another method is DMO with system move. Harish needs to start the sum on-prem. He needs to perform uptime activities like create shadow repository and prepare the migration, and at downtime he needs to export files to Azure and continue migration there. The benefit with DMO with system move leverages new Azure app servers, which reduces downtime and is cloud optimized. There is also an option of 2-step SAP migration to Azure, lift and shift plus DMO. Now what he needs to do here, he needs to ensure the connectivity and infrastructure is set up for high-speed connection to Azure. ExpressRoute is recommended. VPN is also possible but not preferred. He needs to deploy the Azure target infrastructure, SAP NetWeaver and HANA servers using ARM or Terraform templates for rapid setup. He needs to perform cloning of the systems, build a homogeneous system copy using backup or restore, or use DBMS replication tools, for example, Oracle Data Guard, SQL Always On. This moves your SAP workloads as is, keeping the same database type from on-premises to Azure. Finally, validation and testing. Run thorough business and technical tests like functional, integration, and acceptance to confirm the copy is correct. And what happens in the step 2? In step 2, you prepare for the DMO. Once the business validates the system is working in Azure, start the traditional DMO process to migrate and upgrade to SAP HANA. Now what can Harish expect to optimize? There are 2 downtimes needed, first for lift and shift system copy and second for DMO migration or upgrade. There are 2 testing cycles required here, one for pre-migration and another for post-migration. Some of the optimization levers include CPU, I/O, memory, and disk speed on migration servers, and high network bandwidth transfers for Azure networks, and Azure storage snapshots for quick backups. Now following are some of the DMO optimization choices. Export, transfer, and import. Tune each step for speed. For example, use SSDs, large RAM, rsync for parallel file transfer. Ramp up or ramp down, plan batch jobs and interfaces around migration. Always test thoroughly before cutover. Repeat downtime execution and table splitting in DMO to shrink further downtime. Now this 2-step approach allows you to get critical applications running on Azure swiftly. It reduces risk by separating complexity and then perform the actual database migration and upgrade in a controlled manner using DMO with plenty of optimization and validation opportunities at each stage. If downtime is crucial, optimize each step and repeat DMO with table splits for shortest possible cutover. There is another kind of DMO called Downtime-Optimized DMO. What is that? Imagine Harish facing the challenge of minimizing downtime during major SAP system migration to SAP HANA or S4HANA. Downtime-Optimized DMO is a migration approach designed to reduce the time your SAP system is unavailable for business users. Now, Downtime-Optimized DMO is designed for very large DBs and 24/7 operations. Large tables migrate during uptime with delta replication. Downtime only replays the changes. Huge downtime reduction. It requires SAP services involvement sometimes. If you compare classic DMO and downtime optimized, classic DMO, all data is migrated during downtime, hence larger outage. While in downtime optimized, you migrate bigger tables earlier, which equates to shorter outages. This is perfect for Harish's huge ERP and BI workloads. Chapter 4. The migration. As Harish starts, he spots a ticking clock. The legacy SAP HANA system appliances are nearing end of life. Hardware support is ending and running critical apps on old tech is risky. Harish declares, "We are at crossroads. Let's modernize for good, not just for now." He migrates SAP Business Warehouse to Azure first, using SAP HANA as the new database. Why? HANA's in-memory tech makes analytics lightning fast. He uses DMO with System Move, a tool so efficient it migrates the app and databases to Azure, minimizing downtime. Harish leverages Azure's tailored data center integration model, TDI. No more rigid one-size-fits-all infrastructure. With TDI, hardware can be mixed and matched and optimized for budget and performance. He sets up low-risk, low-cost test cycles in Azure, allowing safe experimentation before the full production cutover. Once stable, Harish upgrades to SAP BW for HANA and future-ready cloud-optimized warehouse, unlocking new features and integrations. As we reach end of Harish's journey, here's what we have learned. Migrating SAP systems to Azure isn't just about moving the data. It's about reimagining the operations, building for business resilience, and leveraging powerful cloud tools for a smarter tomorrow. Whether you choose horizontal migration or vertical approach, or even combine as Harish did, the future belongs to those who thoughtfully blend strategy with technology. So next time you see a company named Apple or Tomato, remember, with smart planning and right partners, any business can unlock the full power in cloud. Now, if you found Harish's story helpful, which I'm sure you did, hit that subscribe and share your own migration adventures in the comment section below. What challenges have you faced? Let's learn and grow through together, and I'll see you in the next one.